We'll now move to informational item D2, the core business of student learning, and begin with item D2A, the spring 2022 Georgia Milestones results. Dr. Davis.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'd like to invite Mr. Miriam McCrary to remain at the podium to provide informational item D2A, our spring 2022 milestone results. Ms. McCrary.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Madam Superintendent. Today I come before you to share our spring 2022 milestones results. In the board's policy BAB, Henry's Plan of Action, you make very clear that a system of accountability is your expectation for the organization, and that from this boardroom to the classroom, all adults should be held accountable to student learning. The understandings you've articulated in the strategic plan expects that we are accountable to the state metrics, but then you go above and beyond to expect accountability to continually improve as an organization. To locally design, outcomes shown here under priority outcomes. Today's report will focus on our performance on the spring 2022 Georgia Milestones assessments. Based on the content found in the Georgia Standards of Excellence and subsequently our Henry Teaching and Learning Standards and Progressions, the Milestones Assessment System comprises the state assessment used to hold us accountable as a district to the performance of our students in specified grades and courses. The assessments span all 3 grade levels, elementary, middle, and high school, and are designed to provide information about student readiness for the next grade level or course. As displayed on the screen in grades 3 through 8, our students take the end of grade assessments in English, language arts, and mathematics, with the addition of science in 5th and 8th grades and social studies in grade 8. In high school, and for those students in middle school enrolled in high school physical science, end of course tests are given, as well as in Algebra 1, Biology, American Literature, and U.S. History. As advised by the Georgia Department of Education, these data will serve as our new baseline performance as we move forward to advance our ambitious state and local accountability outcomes articulated in our strategic plan. While there are a variety of ways to interpret milestones data, we care deeply about our growth over the 2021 school year and our growth over pre-pandemic levels of performance from 2019. We also care about our growth in comparison to like peers in the metro area, our RESA, and the state's performance, as well as caring deeply about pushing our students to higher levels of performance by focusing on the percentage of students scoring proficient and above. And finally, we care about where the data reveals we must focus and where there are bright spots that must be celebrated. As previously stated, these data will be used as our new baseline to inform our focus areas and celebrations. While our focus is to push students to higher levels of proficiency, it is important to recognize that the pandemic impacted schools and families in different ways. We don't want to miss the opportunity to recognize the incredible efforts of families and students across this district to ensure that students had as much access to learning as possible. Therefore, it is critical that we view our performance in moving students from beginning learners to developing, as well as proficient to distinguished. Let's start with English language arts, students scoring developing or above on the spring 2022 milestones. As you can see here, in grade 3, we matched the RESA's performance, and there is a narrow gap between the RESA and state in most grade levels. Our performance ranges from 63% developing and above in 6th grade to 70% developing and above in American literature. We really show that we are on par for the performance of Henry County schools as it relates to the region and the state. As it relates to the percent of students scoring developing and above in mathematics, note we are within 1 point of the RESA's performance in 3rd and 7th grades and just shy of the state's performance by 3 points or less in grades 3, 7, and in high school Algebra 1. Put a pin in Algebra 1 for just a second, though. There's just a little bit more to this story. We'll come back to that in a little bit. For students scoring developing and above in science, note that our students exceeded the state performance in biology by 6 percentage points, 85% to 79% respectively. In social studies, the percent of students scoring developing and above is just shy of the state and RESA by 1 percentage point. Overall, we see consistency and stability for the Henry County Schools' performance as it compares to the region and the state. I have to pause to recognize that the teachers did this. Our students did this. Despite all of the disruptions and obstacles, educators persevered and our Henry County Schools students had success. But there's a second way to view this data in order to focus our work for this school year. As you are aware, we are focused on increasing exceptional outcomes for all students. In order to measure that, we want to look at student performance through the top 2 levels of performance compared to our RESA and state. So here we have ELA, or English Language Arts. You will note that our performance in this top tier ranges from 28% proficient and above in 3rd grade to a high of 40% in American literature. When we add the Griffin RESA comparison and that of the state of Georgia, it is clear that moving kids into the highest learning levels is where we have opportunities for growth. In mathematics, you can see our top performance was in Algebra 1 with 36% in the top 2 performance levels, with our lowest performance in grade 6 with 18%. You'll see that with the exception of Algebra 1, where we matched the RESA performance and narrowed the gap between the state to 3 percentage points, we continue to have the opportunity for growth and improvement when compared to state and RESA performance at other grade levels for students performing proficient or in the top 2 levels of performance at other grade levels. In science, keeping in mind we test at grades 5, 8, as well as 8th grade students enrolled for high school credit in physical science and high school biology, our performance ranges from 22% proficient and above in grade 8 and 52% in 8th grade physical science. You can see the state and RESA comparisons with our performance in grade 8 physical science nearly matching the state performance, 52 to 53%, again, in just the top 2 performance levels. Similar to science, we test in fewer grades for social studies, and our performance ranges from 26% proficiency and above in grade 5 to 34% in U.S. history in high school. And the state and RESA comparisons for the top 2 performance levels are displayed here as well. The last performance measure I'd like to share is student reading performance at the top 2 levels of performance, as measured by the Lexile score derived from the English Language Arts Milestones. This point of data is communicated as the percent of students on grade level for reading. In this area, we match the RESA in 3rd and 7th grades and nearly match the state within 3 percentage points in 3rd, 7th, and 11th grades. In a year in which no one would expect a return to pre-pandemic performance, we have bright spots to illuminate the resilience of our hardworking leaders, teachers, support staff, and students. This chart illustrates our progress toward meeting or exceeding pre-pandemic performance in Algebra 1. If you take a look at the y-axis, it starts at -15 at the bottom and moves to a +10 at the top, and in the middle is 0. Now, check out Henry County Schools. We are proud to report 100% of high schools and 50% of middle schools maintained or exceeded pre-pandemic achievement levels in Algebra 1. That is so exciting. That is such exciting work. As you can see here, only one other metro district demonstrated greater improvement over pre-pandemic Algebra 1 achievement levels by 1/10 of a point, with an increase of students scoring in the top 2 performance levels of 8.1 percentage points over 2019 test results. This also outpaces the state's average improvement in the subject area, with Algebra 1 being the gatekeeper to higher level mathematics and ultimately a key indicator for high school graduation. This improvement is reflective of our focus on Algebra 1 and a demonstration of how your policy, BAB, impacts the lives of our students. School teams, in collaboration with district partners, ensured implementation of the Henry Teaching and Learning Standards, use of aligned core instructional resources, utilization of formative assessment to ensure student understanding, and implementation of just-in-time re-engagement. As BAB continues to drive our school improvement strategy, we will scale the best practices from school and district partnerships. We have partnerships in other areas as well, in concert with the implementation of the highly effective classroom. Now, let's look at this same growth pattern, but this time in reading. On the screen, you will notice the number of schools with a demonstrated improvement of growth in reading performance from 2019 in comparison to 2021. And 2021 in comparison to 2022, meaning that they had improvement in growth in the number of students performing on or above grade level in one or more of their grade bands. From 2019 to 21, only 11 elementary schools, 6 middle schools, and no high schools, a total of 17 schools, had a demonstration of growth. Now, let's look at from 21 to 22. 27 elementary schools had a growth indicator, 9 middle schools, and 10 high schools, for a total of 46 schools having a demonstration of growth. This represents a 58% increase in the number of schools. And there is even more to celebrate. Before I jump to the next slide and call out some double-digit performance increases in multiple grades and subject areas, let me recognize the following schools that realized gains in multiple grades or subject areas on the 2022 Georgia Milestones. Those schools that had growth in 2 or more end of grade or end of course subject areas were Austin Road Elementary, Bethlehem, Flippin, Hickory Flat, and Hampton High School. Those with 3 or more for EOG or EOC subject areas were Hampton Middle, Wesley Lakes Elementary, Eagles Landing Middle, Woodland Middle, Locust Grove High, and Stockbridge High. And those with 4 or more, Austin Road Middle and Union Grove Middle School. So we are so excited and proud of their hard work. And we have even more to celebrate. We are excited to report that in each cluster throughout the district, we see evidence of student performance returning to or exceeding pre-pandemic performance. The schools displayed on the screen realized increases in the areas specified. These leaders, teachers, staff, and students are to be commended for their perseverance and ability to achieve these gains during a challenging year. Let me take a moment to just highlight a few achievements. Schools realizing double-digit increases over 2019 proficient and above performance include Dutchtown High School is on the map with an increase of 10 in Algebra 1. Eagles Landing Middle School, 11 in 8th grade science. Locust Grove High School with an increase of 12. Look at Locust Grove Middle School, Algebra 1, an increase of 30 percentage points. Hampton Middle School, Algebra 1, an increase of 11. Bethlehem Elementary School, 3rd grade math with an increase of 10. Woodland Middle School, an increase of 29 percentage points. Austin Road Middle School, an increase of 47 percentage points in Algebra 1. And then Austin Road is back on the screen with 8th grade math with an increase of 20 percentage points. Union Grove High School, Algebra, an increase of 20 percentage points. And then check out Union Grove Middle School with an increase of 19 percentage points, with 100% of the students enrolled in the course scoring proficient or above. Union Grove Middle School, again, with 8th grade math and an increase of 14 percentage points. While I just mentioned the double-digit increases, as you can see on the screen, several schools have points of celebration in a variety of tested areas like Stockbridge High, Algebra, increase of 9. Ola High, Algebra again, an increase of 9. Woodland, an increase in Algebra of 8 points, and Woodland Middle School with an increase of 9. While we are proud of our growth, we realize we have additional work to do to exceed pre-pandemic performance. Over the past few years, as you establish policies to inform our instructional foundation, we have clarified what we teach and what students learn through our Henry Teaching and Learning Standards and Progressions. Clarified how we teach and how students learn through our balanced instructional models in English language arts, math, science, social studies, and our commitment to building a community of powerful readers and writers and providing ongoing professional development for leaders and teachers. We also clarified how we know students are learning through our balanced assessment system, specifically implementation of formative assessments to check for understanding and planning timely interventions. And we have provided standards-aligned core resources through your investments for teachers and students. Our next steps are to continue to build upon our incredible teachers' toolkits with evidence-based strategies that reliably increase student achievement through the highly effective classroom framework. And as called for in the strategic plan, continue to build a powerful community of readers and writing. During Summer Lunch and Learns, leaders received an overview of the new writing model as well as the newly acquired reading resources. Additionally, teachers received training during pre-planning and will receive ongoing training throughout the school year. You, as a board, have been incredibly proactive in investing in and ensuring our teachers have the tools we need to take our next steps. We will not be satisfied until all of our students are reading at or above grade level. We have already begun the process of providing deeply embedded, ongoing professional learning in all elements of reading and writing, as well as ensuring access to high-quality text. We recognize that our elementary gaps are the most apparent, and we are focused on ensuring that we are closing those gaps. Although this afternoon, we have definitely had the opportunity to celebrate those points of pride and with performance and perseverance, we just will not be satisfied until all students are achieving proficiency, not just in reading, but in all subject areas. And as it's called for in Policy IB, our organizational accountability to ensure a high-performing school district, we recognize it is the responsibility of the district and school leaders to intervene early and diligently to ensure the performance of each school. Recognizing the principal as the critical lever, district personnel will refine our processes for providing synchronized, timely supports to schools to facilitate the school improvement process, a critical responsibility that is essential to our improvement efforts. And so, our quest continues to be the fastest improving and highest performing school district in the land. Due to your core beliefs, policies, strategic actions, and priority outcomes, we are perfectly positioned to ensure a high-quality, world-class education for every single student. Madam Superintendent, this is all I have prepared, and I will turn it over to you.